Hey, what's up? It's your boy BobbySapphire, and today we are going to look at the top 6 leader power rankings for week 2 of the PQ season. Truth be told, I wasn't going to make a video today, but I'm really busy between going to Atlanta, having a PQ this weekend, London PQ next weekend. I don't know when I'm going to be able to make content. I'm going to do these power rankings for you every week. Figure that'd be a quick and easy way to get you some content and get you thinking and talking about the meta. So, if you want to see what the 6 are, you can fast forward to the end of this video and check out the order. I'm going to talk to you about why these things are where they are, but most importantly, how to navigate at your PQ and how I plan to navigate beating these decks. So, let's jump in. Number 1, sorry, number 6, Bossk. And not the Bossk you're thinking. Bossk Blue, completely out of my top 6. This is Bossk Green. Bossk Green has a much better game into aggro decks like Sabine, mid-range decks like Quinlan and Han. This is the deck that I would take if I was taking Bossk. Get those bounties, ramp, play bombs. Sounds amazing. Here's the list that won PQ this past weekend. As you can see, this deck doesn't have a ton of late game bombs. It's a little bit more aggro. It's got the guild targets for the free bounties. But what I like about this deck, it plays all the good ones. Ruthless Raider, My Card, Vaders, and Mauls, Reinforcement Walker is so important right now. It's got a nice early and mid game. It's doing all the things you want to do. Ping them with Bossk, kill them, collect the bounties, play some bombs. All right, next up, Jango Fett, my deck, fallen to number 5. I just really don't think this is well placed in the meta going into the weekend. I thought I had favorable matchups against both Sabine and Quinlan, and even against Han, and coming out of it, I think all of those matchups are even, and maybe Han is actually unfavorable. So I have to move my boy Jango down to 5. This is the list that I ran at SCG Atlanta. I did lose in top 4. I only lost to Ian Klein on the day playing Han Yellow. You can see both of those matches on McClunky Gaming. One of them I played pretty poorly. One of them I thought I played really well, but just didn't get there. As you can see, I went to Geonosis Patrol Fighters. You should see more about that the next time I update, or if you're in the Discord, you already know how I feel about this and why I'm playing them. I'll certainly be making some adjustments going into this weekend if I play it at my Sunday PQ in Manchester. I am still trying to solve some of the matchups. As we'll see throughout the day, or as we'll see later on in this video, the top decks that I'm expecting to see are hard matchups for this. So we'll see if I pick this up or sleeve up something else like Sabine. Number 4 on the list, Cad Bane. Here's why I like Cad Bane. He's got good game into Han. He's got good game into Sabine. He doesn't have good game into Jango at all, but with Jango falling in my rankings, I actually think he's pretty well placed. Jabba is absolutely bonkers. Playing McClunky for free is crazy. Who knew? You can play Cad like the winner of the Bologna PQ and do Now There Are Two of Them. I think my current list doesn't have Now There Are Two of Them, but I have no problems with it being in the deck. I just want to fit in more solid stuff. I love this deck. It's got all Underworld cards and the Ruthless Raider just to round things out. The one thing I think that this list is missing are the Sneak Attacks main. That's where I prefer to be. All right, number 3, Quinlan Vos, one of the decks I played in Star City Atlanta at the 1K. This is another Ping Tarkentown deck. As you could see, this is the PQ winner. I think it's Wisconsin. Went with a Rebel version. You might have seen the Rebel version from Late Night Gaming's Loopy. He has a video highlighting this deck and his version, which is the Rebel version. And they also did a masterclass with my brother, KTOD Maddie, and Mickey D, Mac Voss. Masterclass on this deck was really helpful. And on my travels, I watched it on my way down to Atlanta and picked up some tips for how to navigate some of the tougher matchups. This is one of the premier decks in the format because it's got such an insane discard package between Kira, K2, Spark, Force Throw. You can really discard a ton of their hand. Just total hand destruction. All right, number 2. I know you know what the last 2 are. And even though Sabine had the most wins, the most tops, I still have her at number 2 here. I think Sabine is absolutely cracked. You can watch me get smoked by Sabine in the Atlanta stream, no doubt about it. This is the Vancouver PQ winner. I also want to shout out Blake Edmondson, who won Star City on Friday in a Sabine Green mirror match between him and Frank from Bothan Network. I like this list. This is some classic ass Sabine with some main deck daring raids. I love those Dark Sabers too, though. I don't know about two, bro. I don't know about two, but I did like this list better than the 1K2 list, so I went with this one. Truth be told, I would probably run Blake's list, which is exactly Justin's list from the K2D Discord. I know I'm covering up some of the sideboard there, but it's just Soldiers of the 501st and Confiscates. I guess I'll decrease for you. There you go. I don't know about Confiscates in the meta, but we'll see. All right. So if this is number two, I think Sabine is absolutely correct. The reason why I have her number two is because Han had such a good weekend, Han Yellow. And even though Sabine's did beat Han's in finals of multiple PQs, playing Magic this weekend, multiple PQs, I still think that if you know the matchup and you know the cards to play, this matchup is near insurmountable for Sabine. But a good Sabine pilot can overcome a good Han deck, and vice versa. A good Han pilot can overcome a good Sabine deck. This is the list. Oh, my vanity. I got to narrow myself down again. This is the list that my teammate Alex Blandon won the Star City Games 2K with. He also top 4'd or top 8'd on Friday with this list. As you can see, Emphas Nass, Zori Bliss, some of the new additions. This is leaning into the 5 HP guys and, just playing Cunning and Gamorrean guards. Also, shout out to Ian Klein, who did really well this weekend, lost to Alex in the finals. This was a huge weekend for both Han and Sabine. So, like I said, we're not just looking at what's happening. So these power rankings, I'm not just giving you like these are the 6 in order. I know that's like what a traditional power rank does, but I have to be thinking ahead. I can't be living in the past if I'm playing a weekly CCG. So going into the weekend, this is where I kind of have things. Cad's bumped up a little bit for me, for instance, because he has such good game into Han and Sabine. He's pretty good into Quinlan. I think that's generally a good matchup if it's piloted correctly. And Cad's worst, the poor matchups for Cad are currently below him, the Jango and the Bosks. So one thing that I'm looking at is people to counter the Han and Sabine meta with some Cad Bane and some Quinlan. But Sabine and Han are so much higher than everybody else. There's no doubt in my mind that these guys are going to be all over top 8s this weekend. Still tons of PQs left to go. Want to shout out a couple decks. They're on the outside looking in. Kira Green, mentioned in my primer. I really like Blue-Green Villain. I don't know with Han. Like, Kira's good into Han, but not so good into Sabine. So you want to see what's your local meta like. Like, I expect my local meta to be a lot of Sabine, but I also know some of the best players that are going to be there are going to be on Han. Anakin went way up in my book this week. I was pretty low on Anakin going into the weekend, but I actually saw some really strong Anakin pilots. Shout out to Everly 1990, Josh Everly, and Gray, who top 4'd Star City 2K with Anakin. I really thought they played, like, they really impressed me with the play and the strategies they took. I actually think like Anakin can race a lot of decks pretty well. And then Iden blue specifically, I think is right on the outside looking in. That 4-cost mono blue vigilance is really good against aggro. It's not super great into Sabine. I'm sorry, it's not super great into Han, but Han's really good against those mono, against blue decks in general. But I think Iden can create a little bit of some pressure with some of the tools the other blue decks don't have. So we'll see. Either way, I'll try and be back next week with some more power rankings. I've got a PQ this weekend, and then I fly to London next Thursday for meet and greet and PQ over there. So see you next time. Thanks for watching.